Hi everyone, welcome back for another whiskey review. Now here tonight I am sitting down to review 3 American whiskies back to back. This year, 2024, it's an interesting concept I've come up with where rather than breaking them into 3 different nights, it's great to actually record reviews of a common theme of whiskies and sort of dabble into them, go back and forth. I have tonight recorded a review of the Angel's Envy, a Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. Now moving on to the big boy, and I left it to last because I remember it being very full on. So it's quite good to try the Angel's Envy first, then the barrel proof, and now on to this one, the Pure Kentucky XO. Now this particular bottle had collected a lot of dust in one of my bottle stores. We had it for a very long time. We only ever ordered 3 bottles and they just never sold. Luckily, a couple of them did after a long time, but this one was just collecting dust. And one day, 3-4 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, I decided I'll take it home. You know, it's looks like quite a dark colored, interesting American whiskey, but more importantly, at a very high ABV of 53.5%. But once I took the lid off and had a nose and a taste, I was like, wow, this is something very, very special. In terms of the bottles, this is very interesting because I've started to talk a lot about the bottle and the presentation, and I hope you caught the review of the Angel's Envy and the Jack Daniel's barrel proof. I've talked a little bit about how beautifully they are presented compared to this. It is the most uninteresting bottle you could probably pick, but in this case seems like all of the money has gone into liquid and no budget has gone towards the bottle, because the bottle just is not very appealing, but luckily the whiskey is just outstanding. So let's get into the glass and start talking about what's it like on the nose and the palate. It's even got those just, yeah, they've spent no money on the bottle, but that's okay. All of the money has gone into the whiskey itself. In terms of color, very deep, much darker color, really, really deep. Now, I've always confessed to this, my knowledge of American whiskeys is very limited, but limited information I could find is I found it to be on the Willet website, so I'm assuming it's coming out of the same brand of family, but not entirely clear on who exactly is distilling it. Is this a standalone company or Willet itself is distilling it? Because on the bottle it says distilled in Kentucky, bottled by Pure Kentucky Distilling Company, and when you look it up it just takes you to the Willet website, which is absolutely fine because I've tried lots of Willet whiskies and they all are outstanding. Right, let's see what's it like on the nose. Oh, yes. The cinnamon is there on the nose. The sweetness of just a hint of vanilla. The spice is there again. It's a lot more profound on the nose, unlike the Jack Daniel's, which also was, well, it was actually around 12-13% more ABV, whereas I found Jack Daniel's to be a lot smoother on the nose. This one is throwing up a lot more of the spice and a lot less of the vanilla sweetness. Yes. Very interesting on the nose. There's a earthy note to it, with the char there again. Very nice. Well, let's see what's it like on the palate. Rich. Really rich in flavors. Quite chewy. The spice is there, a little bit of cinnamon. There's raisiny sweetness. Now this is something I don't get often from American whiskies. They kind of throw up the vanilla, a little bit of honey. But this one's giving me raisiny sweetness. And it's not too sharp on the palate. I guess it's watered down a bit. It's 53.5 ABV. But really, really interesting. Quite sweet. Really sweet on the palate. And a little bit of cinnamon is lingering. Wow. Definitely, in terms of the spice and the sweetness, it's just a little bit more than the Jack Daniels, but there's a bit of bitterness at the end as well, which is sitting on the back of the palate, which is a bit odd, and it does throw me off a little, but not by too much. Still, a solid whiskey, really solid whiskey. It's one of my favorites out of America at the moment, especially at the high ABV. And it's interesting for me tonight. I've still got all three out because I was thinking, oh, I'm going to grab my dinner soon. It'd be quite good to sort of after dinner go back to all three and try them side by side. But as a thought, the Angel's Envy, really good, but just really has no depth. And you can't really expect too much. You know, it's a young whiskey. They do water it down to that around 44, I believe, or 43.3%. But if I had to pick, the Jack Daniel's definitely is the winner for me. It's not as good as some of the really long-aged Wild Turkey whiskies I've tried out of state, and I've done reviews of a couple of them back in the day, or maybe 3 different ones. But in terms of overall balance, I do prefer the Jack Daniel Barrel Proof. In terms of the pure Kentucky XO, the raisiny sweetness has won my heart, and that's why I've really, really enjoyed it. And I guess in a weird way, that's why I've kept it. I've protected this bottle for my friends who really love dabbling into it, especially with a good cigar. But I've kept a good half a bottle, or just under half a bottle, because I do, well, I actually don't know if it's still available in New Zealand. I haven't tried to find some more, but maybe I should. When it was available, it was around 110 Kiwi dollars, which is really, really good. And if you are a big Scotch Irish whiskey drinker, it'd be quite good to maybe add it to your rotation. And I believe the Angel's Envy is around $130, $140 in New Zealand. And that's just ridiculously expensive. But it's also because I believe there's no distribution of it in New Zealand. So it's a bit expensive. Some stocks coming in, but they're paying quite a lot. And the Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof, when I've seen it in New Zealand, it's around that 200 Kiwi dollars, which is around 100 pounds, or I have no idea what that might be in US dollars. But I would imagine people in USA would have a lot of it available. It'd be quite widely available. So overall thoughts, I would say Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof as number one, that as a well-balanced, easy drinking, but it's got a lot of flavor. Then the pure Kentucky, purely because of the raisiny sweetness. But the finish is kind of medium, whereas the Barrel Proof one was just long. And Angel's Envy, it's a good sort of start of the evening, interesting American whiskey. You know, something to warm the palate up, but also to give to someone who doesn't really like high ABV whiskeys. Well, it's been quite an interesting session, and I'm just loving this new thing, and I think I'm going to explore this a lot more. Line up 2, 3, 4 whiskeys in a night and record the reviews in one go, well, you know, one after the other, but also to give thoughts as a wrap, you know, what I thought of the 3, 4 whiskeys side by side. Well, if you're liking the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the very near future for another whiskey review. See you later.